What are the ways that you can protect yourself in these really, really difficult times as an immigrant, whether you have status or not? And especially you may be a US citizen who wants to protect your family. So keep watching. I'm going to tell you my top pieces of advice for keeping yourself and your family safe. Now, my number one piece of advice is do not open your doors. If ICE comes knocking on your door, you are not obligated to open it. They are going to show you a warrant, but it has to be the right type of warrant. Now, there are two types of warrants that an ICE officer may be able to show you. The first is called an ICE warrant, and you have to ask to see a copy of the warrant to really look at it carefully. Now, you can ask the ICE agent to slip it underneath your door or to hold it up against the window. Underneath the door is definitely preferable because then that way you'll actually have a proper chance to read it. Now, here is the key difference. An ICE warrant can be issued by an ICE officer themselves. It is signed by an ICE officer. So if you see that the warrant says that it's signed by an immigration officer or by Department of Homeland Security, that is not the same as a judicial warrant. A judicial warrant is signed by a judge. A judicial warrant gives ICE the authority to enter your house and to come inside and grab people, basically. If the warrant is not signed by a judge, they do not have the authority to enter. So that is the number one thing that you're going to look for is if ICE shows up at your door and they want to enter, you are not obligated to open your door. And in fact, do not open your door. Ask to see the warrant. The warrant must be signed by a judge. Number two, anyone who is a non-citizen is actually required by law to carry around a copy of their identification. So if you're a green card holder, you are supposed to have your green card. If you have an EAD, carry that around with you. But the biggest problem is, what if you don't have an EAD? What if you don't have any sort of legal status? If you don't have any legal status and you get approached by ICE officers, you have the right to remain silent. You do not have to answer any of their questions. So make sure that you exercise your right to remain silent. Now, here's one more thing. If you have a case in process, carry copies of those receipts around with you. The receipts by themselves will not protect you from getting arrested. However, they will help your attorneys try to get you out of your detention and to get you some sort of relief. So it's a lot better than having nothing. But if you don't have any receipts, you get approached, do not say anything, ask to speak to an immigration attorney. Now, the next thing is a little bit interesting. If you're a US citizen, carry a copy of your passport with you because it's not unheard of. And we've already had reports hearing about US citizens being swept up in arrests and being detained. And, if you look ethnic, carry a copy of your passport around.